Wattenberg, Managing Director of JTW International, is here for analysis. And let's start with that question. A lot of legs left in this rally, or is it getting a bit old, do you think?
Well, it appears to be that the liquidity is continuing to show in the market, and growth is still good in Asia, and growth is now starting to show up in Europe. And while the U.S. is slowing down, there may be enough of worldwide growth to continue to make the rallies continue going forward.
Do you think the valuations are another attraction right now? Because in certain places they're really not stretched at all.
Yeah, the valuations in certain sectors are high and other sectors are still relatively low. And I think what you're going to see is a continued trend to kind of riskier assets, across Asia and potentially in emerging markets as people stretch for returns while interest rates are still relatively low.
I was just reading some commentary before the show, and one strategist was suggesting, and he's been quite actually bullish on the U.S. market. He's a little concerned potentially about the earnings outlook and the inflation outlook. If you look at the fourth quarter, and we'll start getting those results in about a month, the original thought would be about 12.5%. That's down to 10%. How confident are you that the earnings are going to come through, which will be supportive of the U.S. market?
Well, I mean, the real thing is the market in the U.S. Really punishes companies that miss by a penny or miss even by a little bit. And so I think you're going to see continued concerns that these companies, unless they meet or exceed the expectations, the market could take a hit. Inflation is still not clear as to where the trend is going right now. We had some data this week that was, slightly more concerning than in the past, but there's not enough data yet to continue to think that rates are going anywhere but either stable or lower.
So, talking to your clients, what are you telling them to do in terms of 2007? Lower expectation or what?
Well, I think you got to stretch to kind of newer markets with the smaller allocations. I think it's still good to build up cash reserves, when the numbers are still a 5% number in the U.S. And I think, diversification just outside the U.S., which has had strong run up until this point, is not a bad idea.
So, your favorite markets?
I like China, and I like Asia as well, broad-based across Asia.
But look what happened in Thailand just this week.
I think what you do is you make selected allocations in terms of where you need to be. I think the sleeping one that people are not really looking at that could potentially be a good return it could be Japan going forward.
Now, you are going to be somewhat select, but having said that, your biggest concern in 2007, potential concern?
Concerns about the housing market in the U.S. continuing to go much lower. Concerns that Europe, which has had some good growth, will slow down, specifically Germany. Those are the two real big ones I have.
Jerry Wattenberg, we have to leave it there. Jerry Wattenberg of JTW International.